Hi everyone. After reading all the material this week about the graphic novel, I have some experience to share with you. I like to use music and also drawing in my class. For music, the lyrics could be part of the literacy activities, and also the drawing is like a graphic novel. I think it's really easy to get attention, like a student's attention back. So while I draw something, it could be creating it could be creating another topic between students and me, or just students themselves. And as a TED talk, Mr. Yang said, um, the combination of the text and pictures did something in his brain, in his head. I think it's in his head that had never been done before. It kind of like happened to me too. Um, I think, as the textbook say, when you read a graphic novel, some teacher believe that you need to have more comprehension skills and also not complicated, complex cognitive skills to process maybe the text and also the pictures. I think a graphic novel has like more educational power and more potential to get students' interest to for like a big issue like a history, revolution, or maybe any subject. Mm, as the reading standard 7 said, um, what is it? So it mentioned like analyze how visual and multimedia elements contribute to the meaning, tone, or beauty of a text. So the text mean graphic novel. I believe graphic novel has like a lot of literacy potential, just because you need to build the sense of maybe art literature and also the regular literature. um, I don't know how to describe that, but I really had like a good experience with teaching including the graphic novel in my class. And especially for like a vocabulary or conversation part, like they can create their own, and I think most of them enjoyed it and also enjoyed to share with their peers. So I also believe students can improve and be benefit from other genres, as long as the more they explore, I think the more open-minded they can be, or more connection to the world or themselves. um, but graphic novel, obviously is my favorite genre, sorry, when teaching music or some other subject. So for like independent reading, I choose Seth, History of Music. I purchased from Amazon, so it's in my Kindle. I gotta show you the cover of it. Um, so this is not cover. This is a cover, and it's a book about the licensing and copyright of the music, and also the short history about 2,000 years of music. And uh, it, most, it mostly address the licensing problem right now, because there's a composer, the popular composer was sued just because of the the guitar, the sampling and jam with the three notes. Another composer think thought that they were copying their work, like which they actually um, licensing the three notes when it first came out. I laughed just because it kind of like doesn't make sense to me. I think everybody learned from imitation. I mean, the way we learn how to eat, or the way we learn how to run, or something. I mean, a lot of things we would just imitate our peers or our adult. The way we talk sometimes it's really similar to our parents or our brothers, sisters. So I think everything has its like I mean, everything or everybody could be influence of some part of you. As for music, it's art, and if you have like a lot of restriction, then it's not gonna be or limitation. It's not gonna be good for the art or music like development. So for this one, I think this book can use us explaining the very beginning of the music, like how it came out, or what's the development of some theory part. So I want to share with you some picture. For now we have 24 scales, but in the beginning it was look like this. It's from the interval fours. We call it perfect fours. Sorry, cannot see it. Oh no, still cannot. Okay, so this one, sorry, this one it's perfect fours, and then here is the beginning of the scales. It has only 3 types of scales, but for now we have 24. And then about the publishing licensing problem, I want to show you the notation of the music. So how the music was like wrote down, for how the music like wrote down for everyone to let everyone keep in mind or remember. It's actually they were using the hand, and the notes was different. I mean, the way they wrote it is different from now. And also, right now we use like a 5 lines to keep the note. The note 5 lines like this. So you will see for now we write down the music like this, and then it has only 5 lines here, each row. So the picture I show you was actually really amazing because okay, so this hand was happened like in medieval era. So the music was mostly happened in the church. So they try to figure out when and invent this. And then later on, the first music was published in 15th and 16th centuries, and this is how it looked like. It was a Italian publisher called, what's the name? Perucci. Yeah, Petrucci. Sorry. So this was his picture, and you can tell very obviously that the notation has 6 lines, right? So it's different from now. And about the licensing problem, there's some fun picture like addressing a lot of composer borrowing some melody from other composers a lot of time, and then there's no licensing issue, like you need to pay for it and then you got the right to write your music. And most of them just change the speed, or sorry, I need to find, yeah, or just add some detail to the original melody. So when I find in a picture, I want to show you how the melody was changed. This is a melody from the Offenbach, and the Offenbach has an opera, and the opera has some part of music. They call it like a can dance. It was actually French dance, and it's in a really fast tempo, like a presto or vivace. Why can I move this? Okay, here's part of the melody. So this is really fast. As you can tell, the picture was really fun. It was telling me the music. So the music was first composed by Offenbach in Can Dance in the opera, and then later on the Sanson and his Carnival of Animals, the tortoise used a melody, and it was in the really slow tempo in Largo. You can tell the melody really easy. So the Offenbach one is really like a fast dum. Okay, so this is a really obvious example. Now I want to show you the page here. It was telling that the Beethoven, you can tell this one is Beethoven, and his music was borrowed by can you see it? Oh no, I don't know. Mahler. Let me see. Yeah. So this part. So the Beethoven was borrowed for by Mahler's First Symphony. Oh, I don't know how to. Okay, good. And then the other part of this page is Handel was borrowed by here. Stravinsky borrowed Handel's melody for his opera. And I want to give you another example, as everyone could probably really familiar with Star Wars. Star Wars borrowed from Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring. You can easily tell this is The Rite of Spring by Stravinsky. And this is part of a Star Wars. Okay, let me start from beginning so you can easily tell. So it was just changed to different key. The atmosphere and the expression of the music were mostly the same. Also, there's another example. The music is also composed first by the host, the planet. So later on, it was the Star Wars. You can tell that it can